Sri Akal. In this video, we will be visiting Munsiyari, the very beautiful yet very less visited hill station of Uttarakhand that is situated at an elevation of 7,250 feet above sea level and at a distance of 260 kilometers from Nainital that I visited during my solo trip of Uttarakhand. But before we enter Munsiyari, I request you to subscribe to my channel Grandpa on Wheels for more travel related videos. Going from the Dharchula or Jol Jibi side before entering Munsiyari, we are welcomed by sprinkling of water on and across the road by the famous and very beautiful waterfall at Madkot. On reaching Munsiyari, I checked in at the Kumaon Mandal Vikas Nigam Tourist Rest House, a very imposing building with a very wide view of Pancholi range. As I had travelled all day long from Pithoragarh to Dharchula on the Nepal border and then to Munsiyari, I decided to have a short nap. By the time I got up, the sun was about to go down. The evening view of the Pancholis was even more beautiful, so I decided to sit the whole evening in the balcony and enjoy the beautiful view along with a few drinks and even dinner at that very place. The view from my window too was so fascinating that I could not sleep for quite a long time and just kept on absorbing the beauty of the scene before me till sleep overpowered me. Early next morning, the view over the Pancholi was very beautiful even before the sunrise. The rays of the sun were very distinctly scattered into the very clear and blue sky. The sunrise too was equally beautiful, with the sun shining like a jewel through a gap in the hills. The whole Pancholi range looked beautiful with the light rays of the sun on the peaks over the dull-looking lower parts of them. As the sun rose, the 23,000 feet high peaks looked more and more beautiful. After breakfast, I got ready and went to the Nanda Devi temple and the viewpoint about 3 kilometers out of the town. The beautiful meadow around the temple and the view of the snow-clad mountains beyond is very beautiful. After this, I visited the Tribal Heritage Museum in the center of the town. It has a very good collection of tribal items like white ink used for writing on blackboards, many types of pots and vessels, pots used to store solidified lime juice called chook, many types of oriental smoking pipes called hookah and their chillums, ancient equipment for distilling spirits used in the tribal area, and pots used to serve liquor called jokhal. There is also a good variety of traditional jewelry made of iron, other metals, and pearls or stones that was worn by the women of this tribal region through the ages. The evening also presented a very nice view of the mountains, both in the west as well as in the east. The evening was on the whole very pleasant. Next morning, the scene of the sunrise was totally different from that on the previous day. Perhaps it was the presence of light clouds in the east that made the difference. But as the sun came out, it gave a very bright appearance to the snow-laden mountains in the west. It is said that when we travel solo, we make many friends on the way. So was the case with me. One was a beautiful dog that used to accompany me around the hotel, especially during my morning walks. The others were two children from Bombay who had come with their mother. The good view of the Pancholi from Munsiyari became much better as I rose a little on the road towards Chowkuri. The trees turning pink with the new leaves in the spring season bore a very spectacular look. The rhododendrons of the branch, the state tree of Uttarakhand, were in full bloom and were demonstrating their beauty in red to an extent that they had turned some slopes of the hills into a sea of red. The small flowers in the rocks also seemed to be contributing their share in the otherwise pink mood all around. Just ahead were some vultures ending their feast upon a dead animal, and a crow taking his share from whatever was left behind by them. In some time, I was at the Barthi Falls at a distance of 30 kilometers from Munsiyari. The water, falling from a height of 400 feet, looks very enchanting and produces a great thunderous sound. We have to climb some height from the main road to reach this fall. Taking this photograph was a very difficult task, as I was all alone at this lovely place and I had not carried the tripod stand from the car. It was a great problem to find a flat surface to place the camera and position it accordingly, and then leveling it according to the needs with the help of small pieces of rock, and then positioning myself in the view of the camera and also not obstructing the proper view. So it was after many failed attempts that I got this perfect picture. I will be discussing the route taken by me to reach Munsiyari and coming back from there in the next video.